everybody, Jan of Jan Hicks Creates here, coming at you, yes, from my bedroom today. It's just, I'm too late doing this. Let's see, what time is it? 11:06. It's just way too hot upstairs. So yeah, forgive the partially unmade bed. Actually, I don't even know if you could see it when I was sitting in front of it. There's a kitty. She looked at me when I tried to make the bed like, you've got to be kidding, woman. So, that's okay. I don't think you can even really see it, right? Oh, how you guys doing? Would like to say that I'm better this week, but that would be a lie. I got 8 thumbs down last week. Is that because, like, I'm telling you how I really feel? I know a lot of you don't like to have people talk about personal stuff that much. Here in the United States, there's a lot of shit going on. And you know, it's not even just the politics or the pandemic or, you know, the whole racial injustice thing that is finally having a voice and hopefully will continue to have a voice. There's personal things going on. There's being on the island. The whole PCS question is starting to, you know, starting to move. So we have that in the back of our minds. You know, the big question that we ended with when everything shut down was, is the government going to pay for our move or not? If we could just get that answered, we'll have an idea of what's happening with our lives. So yeah, there's an awful lot of stress right now. Shout out to New Zealand though. They're back. They're opened up. Life is going to go back to, you know, whatever normal may be. It's still going to be slightly different, right? Borders are still closed for them and I don't blame them. Hawaii, we're doing great here. We did have a spike 2 days. One day we had 2 days in a row we had 9 cases. We had been around 2, 1, a couple days in a row with 0 new cases. They're attributing that to the Memorial Day picnics and stuff that happened. But they're starting to talk about, you know, how to get tourists back here. And I don't know why I should say it scares me. We're looking at moving back into the mainland as soon as possible. And it's a mess. So, yeah, lots of stress. But I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're finding whatever peace you can in the midst of this. I know it's not easy. My peace does still continue to come from the stitching, and I have lots to show you, plans to show you, an amazing gift to show you, and just kind of some other things that I've come across out there in the greater stitching world to share with you. So let's get started, shall we? First, my focus piece for the week, Balmy Spring Day. Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Aaron Detner. I am starting up in this corner over here. And my reasoning was so that I could get down to some more interesting things quicker than just green and black. So, this is that corner. Went over to that. Last night I started more on the sky. And I mentioned when I posted this on some of the Facebook groups that I do love the way you can really start to get a sense of the sky coming through the trees. The house is starting right in here. So I plan on starting to work on that a little bit tonight. I am going to keep working on this. So far, I don't have a desire to move on to anything else. I am starting on Thursday Bayou Cat with Carolyn, Seazook Stitch. So I will work on this until then. 25 count Lugana over 1 DMC. not really diagonal, as you can see, which is fine. I'm just going with the flow of the stitches. We'll call it that. So, very, very happy with that. Seems to me there was something else I was going to say about it, but I don't remember. My hour-a-day piece, Grace, didn't get an hour a day. It got an hour most days. I'm working on this medallion. But yesterday and the day before, again, I'm not feeling the single colors. But it's still getting touched 3, 4, 5 days a week. So I'm still hoping it will get done in June. But again, you know, these days it's about what I need to do to take care of myself. Yesterday, guys, was a bad day. I haven't been sleeping. And yesterday it all just kind of culminated. So I do what I feel like I want to do. No rules, right? But it's getting there. It'll get done. The other one I have been spending a lot of time on, and that you have been seeing posts about, is, making sure that's the front, the Fragments in Time piece. So this is Summer House Stitch Works Fragments in Time for 2020. This is the first one. And I did get it done. I am thrilled with how the gold looks. As you can see, I took out the gold on this side of the border, the first gold I tried, and replaced it. Got this done up here. Working on the inner border before I move on to number 2. This is now all Mrs. Sada's silk, and I am thrilled to tell you, I talked to Raquel. She has put together a pack of her silks, of what I'm using. So if you want to stitch with these, if you like this colorway, she has a pack. I will be linking that below. Now, you can see the green is a much lighter green, a much brighter green than I didn't get out the chart to show you, but hopefully you guys remember how much more primary those colors are. I'm happy with this green. I love how the green pops along with that bright blue. In the pack though, and what I have collected, the colors that I've pulled out, I also have a lighter blue, and I also have a more evergreen green. And there will be times I will be using those alternatives rather than this bright green and this bright blue. So I actually haven't looked at the pack that Raquel put together. I sent her all the numbers and my reasoning behind this. So I assume those other 2 alternatives for the blue and green are also in that pack. But yeah, I'm very happy with this. I do have number 2. I will be starting that, and I am working on this about an hour every day. I have 3, 4, 5, and 6 on order. They are on their way to me. And then 7 and 8, the last 2 for this year, are coming out in July, I believe. So I am thrilled to finally be doing one of those. I also have the color conversion listed on my blog now, and I have also put the conversion to DMC on there as well. So for those of you that like my conversion but don't want to get the silks, the DMC conversion is listed there as well. And so you will see the called for overdyed floss, the number of the Mrs. Sada silk floss, and then the number of the DMC conversion as well. So I hope you find that helpful. Yeah, that's been my stitching this week. Like I said, Thursday, Bayou Cat with Seazook Stitch. I know there's a couple other of you that are going to be joining us as well. Carolyn and I will be recording a video. I'm going to do the recording and uploading this time, so it will be from my bedroom because I have to record via Zoom on my big computer that's I'm putting because it's right there. So stay tuned for that. I know that Al Forest Embroidery, they have a bunch of their patterns as PDFs. This being, I think, a fairly new one. The last time I checked, which was, I think, last Tuesday, whenever I talked about this, they did not have Bayou Cat listed as a PDF or available as a PDF. Little light bulb just went off. Did you see that? I think I'm going to get in touch with them. Let them know that I've been talking about this, that there are some of you interested, but because they don't have it as a PDF, you can't get it because they aren't shipping. That's where I started with this. They aren't shipping yet. And see if they will put that one up as a PDF. I'll let you know. I will post about it. If I hear back from them before next Tuesday, which I would hope that I would, I'll post about it, you know, in the various and sundry social media platforms. Okay, that went fast. Did it go fast for you too? Other plans. So, I don't know whether we're in the haul section or the new start section. I don't know. Let me show you the gift first, because that kind of leads to a new start. So I mentioned last week that Betty Vaughn, upon my talking about the By the Bay Needle Arts pattern, Le Flosstube, with the wool applique, which I have never done, that she very graciously offered to send me some pieces of wool that I can use since I have none. Betty's going to be doing this with me. I think Diane Gorder may be doing it with me. Any of you other ones that want to join in, please do. We don't have a start date yet, so more on that. But Betty not only sent me wool, let me take this out of here so I'm not being misleading. She sent me a gorgeous project bag. Absolutely gorgeous project bag. Look at that fabric. Isn't that perfect? Sea turtles, dolphins. Blue water, fishies, coral. Betty, it's so pretty. And, can you see that? Jan Hicks Creates, machine embroidered on that. And, look at that. Isn't he gorgeous? That would make a gorgeous cross-stitch design, huh? In different colors. Oh my God. Beautiful. Betty, thank you. You didn't have to, but it's gorgeous. It's perfect. So, project bag. Stuffed inside the project bag, all kinds of goodies. All kinds of goodies. Now, she had told me she was sending me wool, right? So she sent me a bunch of pieces of wool that are, you know, the colors that are used in the pattern. I have a couple more in here that I haven't taken out yet. So, I have exactly what I need for this as far as wool's concerned. I mean, just so cool. This is, let me see, she says on here, I'll talk about the wool more in a second. She also sent me, whoops, sorry about that. That was just my keyboard sliding off my keyboard tray, because I keep putting more stuff on it and shoving it back further and further. She sent me 3 sulkies. These are the 12 weight that coordinate. Oh, there goes something else. I don't have my glasses on. Oh my God. So I think one of them are blendables. Oh no, 2 of them are blendables and 1 is a solid. So those 2 are blendables. And then that one's a solid. Coordinating colors. And then and it landed right in a pile of cat fur. But she also sent me 2 of the little balls of Valdani thread. I have never gotten any Valdani thread before. Oh my God, these are so cute. You know, you look at the little box of them, and when you look at them online, which is all I have done, you don't really see how small they are. They're so cute. And again, coordinating colors. Oh my God, they're adorable. Thank you, Betty. Oh, that poor one in the cat fur. I'll deal with that later. So, not only that, not only this, put that over there because it's acting like a blanket and getting me all hot. So, let's see. Let me find the note about the wool because I found this very interesting. She sent me some Soft Fuse Premium paper-backed fusible web, which of course, you know, I don't have. And she says, sending you a sample of the Soft Fuse Premium. Don't think you'll need it for this project, but I often use wools that are recycled and not 100% wool. So this stuff is great for those or little tiny circles. So what she does is she goes to thrift stores and buys wool items. And she says, I love some of the great textures in coats that are not 100% wool. How cool is that? She said what she has sent me is wool from Jerome Thomas. So it's not the Weeks Dye Works that's called for in the pattern. It's a company called Jerome Thomas. But I just love the idea of getting wool from thrift stores. I don't think there's a whole lot that I could find here, but that's okay. Then she also sent me a little swatch sheet, again, knowing that I know nothing about wool applique. She had sent me an email kind of talking about whip stitching or blanket stitching and what the difference was, and she wasn't sure, and I did understand it from her email, and I appreciated that. But just in case, she sent me samples. So, let's see. Whip stitching, she said, whip stitching in a coordinating colors gets lost. It blends into the wool. And so that's why you would use a coordinating color of like Valdani or pearl cotton, blanket stitched, so that you can see the stitching. And then the bottom one is whip stitched, oh, not whipped down, but just with blanket stitch only in a coordinating color. So you can see it, but it's not like over the top in your face stitching. So it's different looks, different ideas. I think, where did I put the pattern? Yeah. I don't have my glasses on, but I think for the most part, Donna in this one did whip stitching where you can't necessarily see the stitching unless it's the specialty stitching over top of some of these. I haven't actually opened this pattern to look at all the directions yet. So, as for when we're going to start this, I have to hear back from Betty, see if she has a preference. Because I am starting Bayou Cat this week, I would prefer to wait a week or two, so like I said, later in June. So if you are interested in joining us, you do have a chance to go to Donna's By the Bay Needle Arts Etsy store and get the pattern and gather your supplies. I will link that below as well. I have chosen, so Donna uses basically just a white, let's see, antique white 28 count linen. I don't have any 28 count white. So I do have a prodigious stash though, right? So I went through to find something that I thought would work with the colors. I was thinking about changing the color of the vase, keeping the whites, but maybe switching out the browns with blues. But I think part of the beauty of this piece is that the flowers coordinate with the vase. It's just such a beautiful soft look. I really didn't want to mess with it. So, having said that, and not having a white, I did find kind of a, let's see if this has anything on it that says what it is. This is Shell by Perman. So it is a kind of a very soft, tanny brown. I'm not using the darker wool, I am using the lighter wool. All of these, I think, look great with it. Stand out enough that there's not going to be any problem with that. And then the floss I chose, I am not using the called for. So the vase, I have Mountain Mist, Gentle Arts Simply Shaker Mountain Mist for the leaves, because they're kind of this grayish, greenish color. And then for the vase, I have Threadworks, a Threadworks kind of whitish for the white in the vase. And then the two other colors, so there's kind of a khaki taupe and then a darker brown, right? I have a Victorian Motto, and this is Cider Mill Brown by Gentle Arts. So that with the wools, whether you can catch the feel of all of this. I hope it's not too much the same. This one, holding it up, looks kind of the same. I'll have to get stitching on it. I'll do some samples in the corner like I've done in the past. That's what I did with Grace, just stitch a couple little swatches in the corner just to make sure they do all work on this fabric. It actually looks, it looks different in real life than it does on the camera. It doesn't look quite as matchy, but we'll have to see. So that is Les Fleurs Chic, and that is goodies from Betty. And Betty is going to hold my hand once we get into the wool applique part of this. And before you know it, I'll be doing wool applique. I don't know whether I'll be good enough to take on a Sue Spargo one, but I do like her stuff. All right, the other thing that I pulled together that I wanted to talk to you about was Liz Matthews. Hello from Liz Matthews. First day of Christmas. Let me find the picture. First day of Christmas design. So she has this as both the tree and the sampler format. She is doing a stitch along for this. I will be doing the sampler version. The tree, it turns out she talks about this. She does have a Facebook group for this. It is called Hello Christmas Days, SAL, I believe, SAL for Stitch Along. Again, I will put that information below if you would like to join us. She noted in that Facebook group that she only designed a tree version of the pattern, or she's only planning on, she doesn't have all of these designed yet, a tree version for this first one, because partridge in a pear tree. The other ones will just be in the sampler format. So that is what I am doing, the sampler format. The stitch along starts basically whenever you get your materials. I am not going to start mine until July 1st. This will be my first pattern for my Christmas in July stitching. So if you would like to join us, I would love to have you. So what are you stitching it on, Jan? Well, I am going to use 25 count Lugana. This is a piece of the vintage cloth. This is a huge piece, 18 by 27, so it's a fat quarter, fat half, one of those. I don't know how many of the 12 days I will fit on this, but I do have 2 of these. I will be stitching it over one because my plan is to make them into, I don't know whether I'll do the flat fold stand-up thingies like Vonna does, the Twisted Stitcher, or whether I'll do little canvases or little blocks to stand up, but I am going to do them each separately. I do have, I'm not using the called for. Her called for this is MPI Silks, and then she does have a DMC conversion. I am doing my own conversion from the DMC conversion, basically. It's the same colors. There's not anything weird here. Don't know, trying to figure out how to hold these that I can get them in my hand. It's not like there's anything weird here, just my own color conversion, because I didn't want to get the MPI Silks, and I have all of these, and I don't want to just use DMC. I'm getting them into like some kind of order that makes sense. So, let me go back here. So, there's two different colored greens. There's the yellow for the pear. The body of the partridge is mostly a lighter gray. It actually is a much lighter gray than this, but that's okay, with little darker specks in it. And it also has stripes of gold in it. The wing of the the wing is this color with the stripes of gold in it, and then a black for the kind of pops and the border. Most of these are Victorian mottos. Some of them are Gentle Arts. I don't know whether there's anything else. So that is that. July 1st is when I'm going to start. I will link below. You can get this as a PDF on her Etsy store if you don't have the hard copy. I mean, all the stores, I'm sure, are carrying the hard copy as well, so you can get it there. But yeah, July 1st, it'll give you time to gather stuff together if you would like to join me for that. So what other goodies did I want to show you? Because pretty much everything else was PDF type stuff. And then there's something else I want to talk to you about. Heaven and Earth Designs did a one-day, not a sale, but a fundraiser where I think half of all their sales, I don't know whether all of the sales, I think half of the sales went to a variety of different charities. I bought something that's been on my wish list for a long time. This is called Healing Rose by Carol Cavaleris, and I thought this was the perfect time. I don't know when I'll start this, but this is what I got for the Heaven and Earth charity fundraiser. They posted yesterday what they raised. They were able to give $515 and some odd cents to 12 different charities. Now these are all charities that are involved in the Black Lives Matter movement. So this is their way of supporting that movement. And of course, this is our way of supporting it as well. So $515 to 12 different charities. Just awesome, awesome, awesome. I also got, so the place that I am getting, I'm not going to remember the name. The place I'm getting my order of the other fragments and times from is an Etsy store called, not that one, Double Cross Stitcher, and I'll link her below. So in addition to the fragments in time, I also got this from Willow Hill Samplings. It is a PDF. I love it when shops offer PDFs. I don't know how well you can see this, but it is, it says Pennsylvania Dutch sampler, so it has some of the feel of the hex signs on barns. I grew up in Western and Central Pennsylvania. My ancestry is Pennsylvania Dutch, part of it. And this, love it, love it. So, got that one. I also had gotten last week, and I don't think I showed you, there was somebody in the group, in my Facebook group, who mentioned the different national park posters that have been designed into cross stitch. And I don't know whether these are exactly the posters or if they just have that feel. But anyways, they don't have all of the national parks, but they have a lot of them. And of course, Mike and I are trying to visit all the national parks in our lifetime. So I did get several of those. I got Hawaii's Volcano. Actually, let me do this. Hawaii's Volcano. We have not we have, this is the one on the Big Island, so we have been to this one. We haven't been, they also have Haleakala. I didn't get that one yet. So there's that one. I got Grand Tetons, because we adore the Tetons. And I got Acadia, because we adore Acadia as well. I want to start one of them. Surprise! Yeah, so got those. And then the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the wonderful Teresa Kogut. You know, I think I talk about her on every single video in one way or the other, if only by sharing her angel cards. And there's several of you that asked over a period of time about her angel cards. You can find them on her Etsy shop. They are like $22, $23. Yeah, so awesome. But anyways, what I wanted to tell you about is Teresa has made a bunch, I think 12, 15, something like that, PDF designs. These are not designs that, let me see, I'm checking. Not necessarily designs that I think these are new ones to her. New designs, Teresa Kogut, PDF only. That I believe 100% of the proceeds are going to LNSs. So her idea is, let's see. Yeah, we came up with the idea to create downloadable PDF charts in order to help out the LNSs. 100% of the profits from this chart will go to a designated brick and mortar store. So what she has done is that each one of these charts is designated for a different brick and mortar LNS to help support them. So it's a different way, you know. There, with the Be Well and Stitch, it was, here's a pattern, go to your LNS and get the supplies. So with this, it is buy the chart and we're going to send the LNS the proceeds. So like I said, every single one is for a different LNS. Most of them I recognize: Reflections in Framing, Julie's Shop, Keepsakes in Ohio, Craft Gallery in Ohio. Oh, there were other ones. The Attic. They're spread all over the country, all kinds of different ones. So if you go to, and I will have it linked below, of course. If you go to Teresa's Etsy shop, you are going to click, see this little menu? It's a long bar. Cross stitch PDF only. If you tap on that, it brings up the menu of all the different choices. You want cross stitch PDF only. Now she has 80 different charts. Not all of them are part of this set, but the ones that you see, if you sort it by most recent, which is what I've done over here, the ones at the top are the ones that are meant for this. And so they're the ones that are computer generated. They haven't been stitched. They're all $10. And if you click on it and go down into the description, this third paragraph here is where it tells you which store it's designated for. So this particular one is for Heart's Desire in Wichita, Kansas. So Like I said, most of them are computer generated, so that's kind of your clue. They are all $10, so that's another clue as to which ones are in this. The only one that I saw that isn't computer generated, like has a stitched model, is this one here and this one over here. And it's like the top three, shoot, I lost it. Gah. It's like the top three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 rows of that PDF section. So just another way to help out the community. They're cute. They're really adorable. I will be getting several of them. Yeah. And you can go in and see which LNSs she has listed, and maybe there's just particular ones that you want to support. You know, whatever way you want to do it. Like I said, I will have that linked below. I think that's all. Thursday, my video, Stitch With Me video with Carolyn, Zook Stitch. I will let you know once Betty and I talk when we're going to start Les Fleurs Chic. July 1st for the happy, oh, what did you call it? Hello Christmas Days Stitch Along with Liz Matthews. Yeah, I think that's it. And the Mrs. Seda Silks. Yay! Guys, I hope you have a great week. It's time for this. Love is the answer. It is always time for love, right? Love it. You are loved by many. Make them your focus. In this you will find joy. And you know, this morning I was seeing if there was any comments that I hadn't responded to from my last video. And I saw those 8 thumbs down on last week's video, and I was like, what the heck? What the heck? I'm out here, you know, trying to spread the love, and people give a thumbs down. But then I went and looked at the comments, and the thumbs up, of course. There's like 300 thumbs up. So why do we focus on the negative so much? Why, as human beings, do we focus on the negative? And then I started reading the comments, and I thought, you know, there's so much love here. Those 8 thumbs down are irrelevant. Make the love your focus. It will cure the ills. It will cure what ails you. It will lift you up. It's going to take a long time for some of these ills, I know that. It's going to take a lot of love and a lot of perseverance and a lot of keeping it in the forefront of your mind. That's the thing that worries me, that it will once again, weeks will pass, and I don't know whether we as a civilization anymore have the, I don't know what the right word is, the perseverance, the diligence. You know, we're such a instant gratification society. Do we have what it takes to stick with the hard things and see them through? I hope so, because we need change. Guys, I love you. I hope you'll join me next week. I hope you will join me from some of these stitch-alongs. I hope you will join me on this channel, and I hope you will join me on my Facebook group. I love the interaction and the exchanges and the sharing and seeing what you guys are working on and what's catching your heart this week. Until Thursday with Carolyn, have a good week. I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.